Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Critter Crunch. This is a puzzle game that actually came out on Steam a little bit earlier this September. And what might surprise a lot of people about this, if you're not familiar with the game itself, is that this was actually developed by Cappy Games, aka like Capybara Games. The guys who did Superbrothers Sword and Sworcery EP for iOS as well as PC a little bit later. And the guys who are currently developing Super Time Force. So this is yet another in the varied career of Capybara Games. Obviously, Superbrothers was kind of like a puzzle adventure. Super Time Force plays like a 2D side-scrolling run-and-gun action game. And Critter Crunch is pretty much just a straight-up puzzler here. So we are going to get started. Worth noting before we get started here, this is $10. And a lot of you people are going to scoff as soon as you see what the actual gameplay of this is. Because this is, it looks, at least on the outset, like a standard kind of like match 3 puzzle game. Let's actually move ourselves back a little bit further here. But there is a little bit more complexity and depth to it. Maybe not complexity, but a little bit more depth to it. And I've actually been having a surprising amount of fun with it so far. Would I say that I'm having, you know, $10 worth of fun compared to the other games that you could possibly get at that price on Steam? No, not necessarily. But I don't think that this is a bad game or even necessarily overpriced by any stretch of the imagination. So let's get started here. And I will explain the very basics of what the heck is going on in Critter Crunch right here. Do we start with a tutorial? We do not. We do. Okay, skip it. Basically, the way that Critter Crunch works is that we have all of these critters. We are playing as a big here, which is just the name of the species. And what we have to do is feed smaller creatures like those flies to bigger creatures. If you feed 2 smaller creatures to the next size up, then that creature will explode, as you can see. Now, you can also get various chains going here. Like, for example, let me find a good one. If we feed this fly to this yellow one, then that'll cause the pink one to explode as well. Reason for that being that this is just something called a food chain. It's just one of the mechanics in the game for one reason or another. We can do the same thing here. Now, when a creature explodes, sometimes it'll give you a watermelon. This basically means that it is a power food wielding creature, man. This is surprisingly, I feel like I'm on like an LSD trip or something as I explain this. You go, man, you gotta get the power food creatures, and then you get the watermelons, and you spit the watermelon seeds at them to blow them up. But basically, I think this should be working here. You can kind of think of it almost like a Tetris-style mechanic, or a Bejeweled-style mechanic even, where when you have like light-colored tiles or light-colored creatures next to each other, when they actually explode, they will explode all of the ones that they are touching as well. So you can get some pretty big combos going here, which is obviously what most people are probably going to try for from a score attack perspective. And basically our objective here, as we try to complete the game, is to get all of our meter on the very left side there filled up. And secondarily, we're also trying to get like as many points as we possibly can. Now, the way the food chains work is a little bit complicated to explain, but let's look for a system. We don't have one right now, actually, so this is going to be a little confusing. Let's just blow these up. I will let you know when we get the opportunity. We do have these bombs as well. There's a number of special tiles, which when you blow them up, or when you affect them, they do interesting stuff like that. Now, this is our son. We're just going to vomit rainbows in his mouth. He comes whenever we get a combo of more than 8 critters at once. So we've got a very bad situation on our hands here, so I just used some watermelons there. Let's blow some shit up. There we go. That's going to make things much, much better. So yes, our meter at the left is almost all full. We can't actually do that. What am I thinking? This should work, though. And that might be enough to fill us up here. Very, very close, if nothing else. So this might do it. If not, this might do it. I'm hoping. Yes, indeed. So when you finish a level, you get, like, all of the tiles explode. There is also, like, an endless mode and a puzzle mode that you can do as well. But this is the adventure mode, where most of the campaign stuff goes on. And there is kind of like a little bit of a story. The way this is framed is kind of like a nature show. You have like a faux Steve Irwin or even like Bear Grylls type character who just like skydives down to this island and then is like, crikey, take a look at the bigs. His insides are made of pure crystal. He vomits rainbows. Anyway, I apologize for my terrible attempt at an accent there. Let's move on to a level that I have not actually completed here. We can see if maybe there's some more tutorialization. I've done this. Oh, we have one more level to do. That's it. See, I probably played an embarrassing amount of... Oh, man. I've played an embarrassing amount of Critter Crunch so far, just because for whatever reason, these puzzle games really feel for me. Okay, so this is where we'll get a food chain right here. If you have, like, you're going to feed a smaller object to a larger object, and then there's another larger object behind it, then you get that food chain going on there. And the way that these kind of, like, squid-like or seal-like creatures here work is that when they when a tile next to them, and I'm using tile instead of critter here just because it's a little bit easier to conceptualize, I think. But when a critter next to them explodes, they blow up all of the ones adjacent to that as well. So there is probably some strategy to use there that is beyond me right now. But that is the way that I have been doing it so far. So generally speaking, my strategy when it comes to critter crunch is just set up these like bitchin' combos whenever possible. Like we can do something like this and kill 3 of those purple ones at once. We can rearrange them as much as we want, and things get a little bit more complex the longer and longer we move on, actually. As you might expect, of course. Well, this dude did something alright. So you can set up like... Oh! I got killed there? That's actually the first time I lost in Critter Crunch. Let's restart this. What happened? Now, I must have like not been paying attention to the right side and it actually like swarmed in on me or something. Okay, but let's try this again. The interesting thing is that these red ones can actually be... That was a good one right there. Oh, and we can barf in this dude's mouth again. Oh, yeah, eat that shit up. He loves it. This just gives us extra points. Oh, God. Oh, there we go. So we lost immediately. The problem with the vomiting situation is A, you're not taking care of the critters that are coming, and B, the creatures are attracted to the vomit, so they actually kind of like come down a little bit faster. But anyway, how do we want to do this? We want to do it like this. Which gets this dude vomiting again, but we'll come back to him later. We'll just forget him for now. That's an advanced level tactic. And I might not be an advanced level player right now. Okay, fine. Oh, I was just about to throw up in your mouth, dude. You missed out. Never thought those words would exit my mouth, but here I am. So let's just try to do a little bit of damage control here. So far, I've actually found the game quite easy. I don't necessarily mean that in a negative way. This is kind of like a mom game, but it's like if your mom was cool, if that makes sense. You know, like, maybe your mom's uncool and she plays, like, Word Scramble or Jungle Jamble on Yahoo Games or something. This is like if your mom's got a sense of humor, because there's some gross humor going on here. It's got a kind of cool comic-style presentation. And by and large, I have positive feelings on this game, even if it is, you know, potentially a little bit suspect that a lot of people are going to enjoy this game at its price point and with its distribution method. Like, this feels like something that should be on Big Fish Games or something, not necessarily on Steam. But it does have that kind of, like, trademark, cappy presentation, or production values, I should say. We gotta feed some stuff here. There's a food chain going for us. Get another one going here if we can get this other fly. Like, yes, that will be a food chain. A small one, but it works nonetheless. And I'm just rearranging these dudes because I'm not doing a very good job of getting everything to explode all at once here. We need another fly. Let's put this over here. Maybe we can get a sweet chain reaction like right here. We need another fly. Oh my god, it's so far away. Okay, so we'll put this fly over here. And then like this, and maybe this will be awesome. That was admittedly pretty goddamn cool. I picked up an achievement out of that. And I can throw up in my son's mouth now. Get out of there, it's gonna blow! Okay, good, we're fine. We got a food chain going on here. We really need to get some of these dudes out of here. Or we are gonna find ourselves in a bad situation very soon. Oh, no, that's good. So as I mentioned, I haven't found the game super difficult so far, but I have found it a surprising amount of fun. When I first saw it, I was like, you know, it kind of looks like a match 3 game. I think the time for match... Oh, that's not good. I think the time for match 3 games is sort of past, you know. It's kind of like whenever I play like a real-time strategy game, I'm like, if you're playing a real-time strategy game at this point in your life, you're probably playing StarCraft 2, right? Like, you don't necessarily need another one. I kind of feel like if you're playing a match 3 game, you're just playing Bejeweled, right? Or you should be, probably. But this is not necessarily a match 3 game. It functions a little bit differently, even though it does have somewhat similar mechanics. And I gave it a chance basically because it was a Cappy game, and I find myself not necessarily surprised by the fact that it's not garbage, but enjoying the fact that it's not garbage, certainly. We can get a sweet combo going here, I think. Oh, not like that. Like, this might be good. Well, it was okay. We're about to beat the level here, which is a step up for me, because, oh, almost totally fucked it there. We need to get these purple and pink dudes out of here. How are we gonna do that? We need yellow guys and red guys. That food chain might be a good start. Ah, there we go. So finally we've succeeded there. So, having completed that level, you can see I'm ranking up. I don't think a lot of people have picked up this game because, like, when I first started, I was in like the thousands or something, and then I finished like 10 levels and I was in the top 200 in the world, which is pretty absurd when I was playing it last night. Let us go to an earlier level here, actually. Maybe like this X. Okay, we have to hit next down here. Sometimes that's a little confusing. Let's go to Yum Yum Beach. And if we open this up, you can see that there's like a mystery level sometimes where it has like some kind of weird objective that you have to accomplish. And there's puzzle levels. So let's check out the puzzle levels. The way these work is basically almost like a check versus mate type deal. You have the X number of moves, where X is the number in our top left corner here. And you have to figure out how you are going to kill or disable all of these critters. So this is a little bit more, you need a little bit more forethought and planning. Foresight is maybe a good way to put it. Because what we want to do here is make sure that we set up some kind of food chain. So if we do this, this should work perfectly, as you will see it happening. Beautiful, and that puzzle is accomplished. Now, this doesn't affect our ranking, which is a problem, because I want to definitely make Grandmaster tier in Critter Crunch as soon as possible. But it does add a little bit of variety, and let's check out what this question mark objective is as well. Usually, I find these to be fucking impossible. Clear the board within 45 seconds, no rows will respawn. Okay, let's give it a try. This is food chain here, food chain here, food chain here. One second. I'm thinking. Is this gonna work? Almost. I don't have any tools with which to take this guy out. We have to restart. Okay, so I almost did that. So this is like a mixture of almost like the adventure mode and the puzzle mode type stuff. So let's try this again. We got 45 seconds to think about this. No rows will respawn. I accept the mission. I think move 1 was good. Move 2 should work totally fine. Okay, so now let's think about this for a second. We have time. I should just move this over here, then like this. No. Like this. Yes, I think this is gonna be okay. And then we'll move like this guy over here, this guy over here. We'll feed both of these to the same dude. They will all explode, and we will complete our mission here. Lucky me. Well, not lucky me. That was, you know, a little bit of strategy going on there. But this is a game that certainly I would not necessarily say. You know who I think this game would be awesome for is, and I don't mean this in a disparaging way. It's gonna sound like I mean this in a disparaging way, but I think for young kids this could be a fun game. It's got that like beautiful kind of like cartoony, colorful visual style. It's got you know, interesting kind of puzzle mechanics, and it's a little bit gross, which oftentimes younger kids have a propensity to like. Not just younger kids, you know, myself as well. Let's see what garlic does. I don't know what garlic does. Gives you a shot of bad breath, causing all critters to crawl 1 row upward. So I haven't really explained the way that power foods work. But you saw watermelon. Watermelon basically allowed me to spit a seed at an enemy. By the way, I should point out these green guys here are toxic, and when they actually give us like those crystals that we have to pick up, the crystals are poisoned, which is not good for us, but we should probably be able to amass a little bit of garlic here. It costs us to lose points is what goes on with the toxic ones. So we should be able to get some garlic here, and we're going to be able to throw up in our friend's mouth. What's up, buddy? I want to. Oh, they're going to get close. Don't come down here. There we go. I used some garlic. That caused the purple one to get just far enough away. Or maybe I can make some good stuff happen here. So step 1, we definitely got to blow up this bomb to give us any chance of success here. Again, we're just going to keep this going. Blow this one up. Okay, we've managed to get a nice little setup for ourselves here. Keep it going. So we're a little bit less than halfway through the level so far. The problem with the toxic guys is when you pick them up in your mouth, they actually take points away from you. So if you're trying to score attack, I haven't really been trying to score attack, but if you're trying to score attack, then that will hurt you. And also, of course, the fact that the crystals are tainted for at least a little while is super annoying. But it's all good. The real problem is with the flies, because with the flies, there's no way for you to deal with them. Like, if the flies get toxic, by the way, the infection spreads as well. There's no way for you to deal with toxic flies except for blowing them up. Picked up the poison and it cost me 2,000. I'm never gonna break the top 200 now. Let's move this over here, this over here. Here's what I'm thinking. You get here. You get here. No, you get here. You get... I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I botched it. Maybe if you're like super fast, you can pick the flies up in your mouth and spit them out before they take any points away from you. This is not going super well right now. Let's move this guy over here. We need more bombs, like desperately. So far so good. Actually, I think we're gonna be fine here. Got a nice little chain reaction going there. Let's spit this guy over here. That actually hurt me. We need to blow these guys up for sure. I think we're getting very near to the end here. And then I'll probably call it quits on this video because there's not a whole heck of a lot more to show. But I wanted to at least take some time to take a look at Critter Crunch because, you know, with Cappy's Super Time Force coming out later on this year, people are going to look back, I think, because that game is a hell of a lot of fun. And they're going to look back and be like, what did they make before? Well, yes, Superbrothers Sword and Sworcery EP, and also this weird little gross puzzle game, Critter Crunch. So let's blow this up. I picked up the Toxin again, so I lost a ton of points. We'll blow this up, and it should give us more garlic. And I picked up even more Toxin, because I'm an idiot, I guess. Blow this dude up, make you... Oh, here's what I want to do here. You get over... Oh, I did it wrong. Well, this is fine, actually. Why don't you get over here? You... Ah, I did it wrong again! Why don't you get fed to him and you get fucked? Alright, and now what I want to do is kind of move this guy over into like the center. And maybe we can get a sweet... Oh, I really thought that we could get that. Yeah, that... Well, I thought that I'd made some amazing chain, but actually that was just the end of the level. But in any case, you can see rank 200. I think that's as good a spot to as any to end the video here. Let's go back to our main menu here. And you can see that there is also online multiplayer. There's puzzles and challenges. So the challenges were the ones with the question marks. Survival mode must unlock when you complete adventure mode, and puzzles as well. But there's also an online multiplayer. Let's not do a quick match. Can we like start a lobby or something and see if there's anybody here? See if there's anybody online in versus. We'll wait for like 5 minutes here. But yeah, anyway, I mean, don't take this as, even though I'm saying that the game is good, don't take me as being like, you should absolutely buy Critter Crunch. You kind of know, I think, when you look at it, if this is the kind of game that is worth $10 for you. Like, if this is a game that you're going to get several hours of enjoyment out of, it's quite possible. It's probably a game that I'm not going to play too much after I actually finish recording the video here. But that's partly due to the fact that A, puzzle games are usually not super up my alley, and B, September is chock full of new releases that are going to take a fuck ton of my time. But certainly this is not a bad game. It's just a game that I wonder if it's going to struggle to find an audience to a certain extent. And I am not that audience. But in any case... As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.